Okay,
How
now
about
you're
now?
moving, so I feel good.
Yeah, woo! I'm
Okay.
here. Okay, good. Yay. Everyone's psyched about Little Women.
I know. I didn't realize that everyone like loved it so much. Because I like
I
it, but I think like I'm more of like an Anne of Green Gables fan. Like,
see, in my mind, this is like the American version of Pride and Prejudice, and I
yeah,
like Pride and Prejudice more because I studied British literature because I'm a nerd.
yeah,
So,
like I'm more familiar with Pride and Prejudice and Anne of Green Gables, which is like the Canadian one of all the same
the
thing.
orphan Canadian version.
But so I was actually glad that we did Little Women because I'd never read it,
Me neither.
so it was good.
So I'm really glad that a lot of people read it with us and liked it, even though it was a classic, and sometimes classics are tough to feel like you can get into the language and everything. But it also helps that there is a masterpiece of cinema that we've all
Yeah,
seen. That, I mean, Winona and Christian, like, so good in that movie.
yeah, like what Jordan just said, like as I was reading it, I was like having flashbacks to the movie.
Hmm.
And like it's really hard for me to not see Winona Ryder like or Christian Bale. Like it's really hard for me to not
Yeah.
imagine them as I'm reading.
I actually did an okay job with everybody except Joe. Like the book was able to like get me
Yeah.
out of it a little bit as I was reading, but for Joe, I was like, she was Winona for me. So
Yeah, it's hard.
that was fun. Well, that actually, let's talk about the movie for a sec
Okay.
because the Vanity Fair article just came out and they're going to be remaking this. Greta Gerwig is directing with. So basically, as I see it, the 1994 version was like the who's who in Hollywood of 1994, and the
Now
2019 version is going to be the 2019 version. You
yeah,
know, it's like the Hollywood
like
young
the
royalty.
newer, yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know who like Beth and Amy the actresses are.
Amy's
Like
in Sharp Objects
oh,
either,
I didn't end up watching that.
and
I
then
didn't read
Beth has
the
been
book.
in some other stuff. I didn't recognize her. I IMDb'd them, but I hadn't seen anything that she was in.
But yeah, I think okay, this is gonna be the unpopular opinion, and you know what I'm about to say.
I
But
know the thing.
I hate Timothy Chalamet so much. Like he's super slimy to me, and like when I saw Lady Bird, like that ruined him for me. I was like, I hate him so much, and so it's gonna be like a humbling experience for me to like see him as Laurie, who I do really like. You know,
Hmm.
so like I don't know. I might have to overcome some stuff,
You
but
might have to, but also maybe it'll be satisfying for you because he gets spurned.
that's true. He does get broken, so it's like payback. It's actually the same people from Lady Bird, but flipped. So
Yep. So there you go.
yeah,
I also we asked the question of who would you cast if you were casting Little Women, and no one actually. Well, one person did said that they would have loved Joseph Gordon-Levitt as
oh
Laurie, and I was
yeah,
like,
Julia,
that 500
yeah,
Days of Summer version would have been really good.
yeah, yeah. I imagine like I need someone really sweet, and I
Like,
don't think Timothy is sweet. I
do you
think
think he?
he's sketchy as crap, but I don't know.
Alyssa said she'd also like to see Emily Blunt, which I was like,
Oh yeah. Oh,
she's
but
the
also
most perfect human of all time. So
someone else, Audrey, she made the comment. It was in the DMs. She was like, "It
oh yeah.
kind of bothers me that they cast so many like British, Irish people in this like American lit
Hmm.
classic."
I thought that was weird as
And
well.
so, like, what if we had like an all American cast? That would be cool too.
Yeah, we'll have to make it.
But yeah, we should probably talk about the book now.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about the book instead of the movie. I wanted to ask you, which character do you most identify? With whom do you most identify?
um, I don't really identify with Joe that much
Mm-hmm.
because like I don't have like the anger issues. I'm not like like I'm a like I have a career, I guess, but I'm not like motivated so much by my career. you know. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm more like Meg, but hopefully like less boring. I don't know. No, I don't dislike Meg at all, like,
No.
but I would probably say her.
Who's your favorite?
Can I say their mom?
Mm-hmm.
Marmee. I like her mom. She's
yeah.
like, I like how she's like, I feel like everything that comes from her is super like didactic, like always trying to like teach a lesson. And I'm always like, I just like that. I don't know.
That was the hardest part of reading this book for me. I was like, I get that there's a moral. I get it.
I kind of like how like it was like totally cautionary, totally morals.
But that is so much the conversation of American literature at that time. Like Louisa May Alcott is writing this and she was like, blammo, like here I am fitting in with this larger conversation of American writers at this time where we come from such a puritanical route and we're trying to figure out how to come into this modern age. And they talk about that where Amy goes to Europe and she's like becoming all fancy or whatever, and they stay at home and they stay kind of where they are. So I just think it's really interesting how well it fits into the conversation of American literature at large.
Well,
that's the end of my American literature.
No, yeah, totally. And it's like, and it's cool how she's like, the book is very like matriarchal.
Yes.
And like, which is kind of like new. I don't know. Maybe you know if that was like something they were doing at the time, but like, their dad's like barely in it. Like, mom is really like the head of the household, and like, they're all like coming into their like matriarchal roles in their like future families and kind of like overcoming their like obstacles and their like their weaknesses type of thing. And I just think that's really cool. And like the female relationships are really strong.
And I think that's really important because I think that's something that is lacking still, I think, in literature, where it's a focus on romantic relationships. And this happens more in the second half of the book where it's Laurie and Amy and Joe and Laurie and all of this. But I love the first half where it's just focusing on the relationships between the sisters and the mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really prefer the first half.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it reminds me of me, like, because like we're from a family of 5 sisters, and like when they're like putting on plays and like having their clubs and writing their like their like newsletters and stuff, like that's like our childhood.
Yeah.
And so I liked that part of the book more.
And I think also that was a stronger part of the book because it was more autobiographical.
Yeah.
For the author, Louisa May Alcott, she wrote this drawing on her own family. And fun fact, I learned that she modeled Professor Bhaer after the opposite of her father. She like did not have a good relationship with her father, so all of the qualities that Professor Bhaer had were ones that she saw missing in her own father.
That's cool.
Interesting, huh? Anyway, I much preferred the first half.
But yeah, like, and I also feel like the second half is like, she was kind of trying to like maybe appease her fans.
Totally, and be like, who
like,
are they gonna marry?
Who'd they end up with? Like,
like,
and I also don't like that it like the first half spans over like a year, and that's awesome. The second half is like 15 years or something. It's like,
well, the last chapter goes kind of far into the future.
I think the ending is just like
it is a couple years though.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to appease the masses, where she was like, okay, I guess I'll finish their story for you.
Yeah.
Still not bad. Still enjoyable.
Still great.
I wanted to read some other favorite characters that people had. Sarah's is Laurie. She identifies with Meg, though. I don't know these people's real names, so I'm sorry. KB Hins. Marmee. Her favorite was Marmee because she says, I saw a lot of my goals as a mother in the way she mothered the girls, which is kind of like what you were talking about. Like, there's a moral to the story, but she lets them kind of figure it out by themselves. And then at the end of the chapter, she's like, so what did we learn?
Yeah, I like her.
Meg, Joe, Sean Munn said Beth. She was our only Beth
Yeah,
lover.
Beth is sweet. I don't like Amy that much.
No, me
She's
neither.
she's annoying.
Maybe youngest children like her.
Maybe.
She's my least favorite. And then Caroline said Joe as well.
Yeah, Joe's cool.
Joe is my favorite.
Yeah. I'm excited
I,
to see Saoirse play her because I really like her as an actress.
I do
So
too.
it'll be fun to see someone else. But yeah, I really like Joe too. Like, I like how she is kind of flawed. Well,
Hmm.
they're all pretty flawed, but like,
Yeah. But like
I
you said,
like,
kind of the point is them kind of realizing where they're strong and where they're weak and learning
yeah,
how they can improve upon what they want to improve upon.
yeah. And I just think she's really cool. Like, I think it's cool that she doesn't end up with Laurie. Like, in
Hmm.
the book, I liked that they didn't end up together.
Hmm.
Like in the movie, I remember the first like watching it and being like, why didn't she get with Christian Bale? Like, duh. And I like hated that so
I
much.
did too. I was so
But in the
annoyed. I
book,
was
I
like,
didn't really
what's
mind
even the
it.
point of this?
Yeah, in the book, I didn't mind it though. I was like, she's cool. Like, she isn't afraid of just like passing that up, you know,
Hmm.
which I think is
Sarah Curry had a thought about that. She said, I love Laurie, but having been married myself, I understand Joe's decision. I think in 2019 they would have been able to have a happy, fulfilling relationship, but the expectations for marriage were so different in the 1860s.
yeah. They also kind of have like reverse roles
Hmm.
because like gender flip because she's like the career person and he's like more into like the arts, you know.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of cool that the two main characters are kind of like flipped
Yeah,
gender stereotypes.
yeah.
Kind of cool.
I also like when Joe was talking to Marmee about this, and she's like, I think Laurie might have a crush on me, so I'm gonna leave. And she was like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't think you two would be a good match, and here's why. It's because you're like both, you would be too explosive.
Yeah.
And our mom told that to me at one point where she was like, you need someone that's complementary. You don't
Yeah.
want to be competing with the same type of personality or, you'll just be fighting or whatever. And I was like, moms are so wise. They have been for 100 years. But I think that's the case here is like
Yeah,
finding
they would have clashed.
complementary personalities. I think in the book it's way more clear.
Yeah. And yeah, Caroline just said he comes from money and she doesn't, which is probably why their like interests were different for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Jordan says, I always felt like Laurie didn't get her goals as they got older, which is totally true. Even though as a kid I was obsessed with Christian Bale because obviously we
Yeah.
all were.
Do you remember that part where they kiss and
The
like
spit! The spit!
Yeah.
So gross.
Go back and watch them kiss in the movie because like I don't know why they use that take because there's like a string of
Surely
spit.
they did, maybe they only did one take and they were like, we're not doing that
Right,
again.
that's the only one we got. Yeah.
A lot of people agreed with you and said that in the movie they were like, why aren't they together? But in the book, it's clearer to see maybe why that happened that way
Yeah.
that it did.
I was like totally down with it in the book.
Yeah, I
It
was.
surprised me because I remembered being angry.
Yeah.
As like a young teenager. Yeah.
Sarah Curry also said Laurie marrying Amy was weird.
Yeah, that is still weird.
That is still weird to me.
It's
I mean, I don't get that decision. I get that they came together because they were like both like having times in Europe and Amy was grieving and they were childhood friends and she was like, you need to stop being a whiner baby about everything and like grow up a little bit. And so like I like their relationship in the sibling way, but then it's like, oh, and then actually we decided to get married because we thought it would be good. It's just
exactly. Like they're
weird.
already so much in like the sibling relationship that it's like it totally throws you off when they get married. It's like, like
It's very weird.
Weird.
Yeah, Sarah says I don't have sisters, but it sounds like a lifetime of drama to me. Can you even imagine? It's like surprise we got married, but then they like rekindle their regular friendship when he gets back, and I'm
Yeah, like they're all okay with it.
this is weird.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine.
It's really
They all seem very happy.
yeah.
Caroline says, I think he's settled for Amy.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah. I don't know
as
why I think she's the worst. But
I don't know, not a fan.
yeah.
But I actually loved reading this book, and I will probably read it again because I think there are a lot of different layers from which you can read it, and the
Oh
lens of
yeah.
like the historical context and like what the role of women was in the society, and how these women were both trying to fit into like what they were supposed to be, but also they are growing as their own humans and people, and that was really revolutionary. So I really love this book, and I want to read it again, and also tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was there, sorry to like just change the subject, but was there we did a question on what was like the most memorable scene.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Let's do that one real quick.
Okay. A couple people, 3 people answered. Sarah said I know Sarah personally. This is like her all-time fave book, and she was in a production of it. So she's like has a lot of feelings about it. But she says Beth's death wrecks her every time, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
so
is
sad.
really sad.
So sad. I actually cried when I read that part. I love any scene with Marmee preaching the good word.
Yeah, I like those too.
And she says, I used to want to be like young wild Joe. Now I want to be like Marmee. Is that growing up? Yes. And then J Hanaike, I don't know.
Oh, that's Julia.
Julia? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. I should have written down the real names as I wrote down these comments, but I didn't. The Christmas piano scene is always a fave.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's like, what does it remind me of? I don't know. I'll think of it. Caroline said the dance at the beginning where Joe has the ruined dress and you meet Laurie for the first time, and he's actually like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One part that always like, it's like right at the beginning, but when Joe like burns off Meg's hair.
Oh yeah.
That's like, always like when I think of Little Women, like I think of that part.
You know what I think of?
What?
It seared into my mind because I was so afraid this was going to happen to me.
When Amy falls in ice?
Well, before that, actually. That part didn't traumatize me. I was like, well, I kind of deserved it. Is when she burns all of Joe's
like
writing because they wouldn't let her go to the theater with them. She's like, it was like a classic like big sister, little sister thing. It's like, you can't, I'm sorry. And so she burns the paper, and then it's like this whole big thing. And that whole thing, I was like,
that is scarring.
Scarring for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, did we go through everything then? I feel like there's so much more we can talk about. Like,
well, yeah, this book is just rife. But everyone, yeah, I think we went through everything that everyone sent us. And if anyone wants to come over or go to the theater with me in December to go see the new one, I'm so down for that.
Maybe we'll have to do like another like live about the movie.
We might have to. We clearly have a lot of feelings about it.
Well, I feel like everyone is like excited about it. Like,
yeah,
we got a lot of responses this time. Like, just everyone being excited about this book. So that was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see you next month for Dark Matter.
Yeah, Dark Matter is one of our favorite books. So.
Okay, I got it from the library this very day, and just so everyone knows, the first time I read this last year, Jessie recommended it to me, and she was like, I think you will really like it, even though you don't like sci-fi that much. You guys, I sat down on the couch, and I read it like I was just going to start reading it, and then I sat there and I read the whole thing all in one go, just all at once. It was so compelling. So I'm really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, and I listened to it as an audiobook when I was commuting to work, and I like left earlier so I could listen and sit in the parking lot at work and listen for like an extra like half hour.
Yeah, yes.
So.
Also, fun fact for mostly just you and I, Jessie, is that we're going to be together for the next book club.
Yes, we are.
So,
in San Francisco.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.